Hello, sports fans. This is the Bookmaker Podcast with Art Eftekhari, a.k.a. Mr. Bookmaker, your source for the sports betting industry 24/7. Sit back, relax, and listen as Mr. Bookmaker highlights what's happening right now in the world of sports. So, without further ado, here's your host, Art Eftekhari.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome back to another edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. I'm your host, Art Eftekhari. Glad you can join us. Before we begin, you know the routine. Get to our website, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. Remember, we got the links to all the best European, Asian, and United States friendly bookmaker sites. Make sure you download our bookmaker guide. Remember, I want you to take your love of sports to the next level. But I also want you to check out Dan's cricket blog and Patrick's American sports blog. Show them some support, and also make sure you check out my blog, the Mr. Bookmaker football blog, or soccer, depending on where you are in the world. First thing is first, let's get to our A to Z sports betting lingo. What is our word or concept for this edition of the Bookmaker Podcast? Our word is stiff. Now, what is a stiff? A stiff is a bettor who does not pay his debts, also known as a mush artist. And I'm sure there might be some stiffs out there, especially those that decided to bet their life savings on the New England Patriots to beat the Philadelphia Eagles in Super Bowl 52. What a game that was. That was an awesome Super Bowl to watch. I love seeing the underdogs do the impossible. And that was your perfect description or your perfect example of the underdogs finding a way to win. I don't think a lot of people were giving the Eagles much of a chance, but a 41-33 victory for the Philadelphia Eagles over the New England Patriots. Wow. I mean, Tom Brady, quarterback of the Patriots, even threw for 500 yards, and they lost. How is that even possible? Well, just ask the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, I know what you're all thinking. Those of you who are listening right now, maybe over your morning coffee, you're probably saying things like, all right, Mr. Bookmaker, the Super Bowl just passed. There's no more football. Move on now. What are we going to listen to next? Well, you know what? I am on Bovada.com. You know the address, Bovada.lv. And I'm not ready to just completely go away from all the National Football League wagers. Because right here in front of me, I got the odds for who is favored to win Super Bowl 53. And not a surprise, the team that's favored right now, the New England Patriots, payout here shows positive 600. Then you got the Philadelphia Eagles at positive 650, Green Bay Packers at positive 1,000, the Minnesota Vikings at positive 1,400, then the Pittsburgh Steelers also at positive 1,400. But a big surprise here, the San Francisco 49ers are getting a lot of respect from the bookies here. Payout here shows positive 1,600. Obviously, that has a lot to do with new quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm already looking forward to the 2018 National Football League season. And while I'm still on the topic of football, or the NFL obviously, there's one special here you need to check out on Bovada, and that is, what team will Nick Foles be on for Week 1 of the 2018 NFL regular season? As you all know, Nick Foles was the quarterback of the Eagles for the playoffs and also a good amount of games for the last part of the season. That was because star quarterback Carson Wentz tore his ACL. And we know this is still Carson Wentz's team. But where will Nick Foles be? Obviously, his performance in the Super Bowl, throwing 3 touchdown passes, even catching a touchdown pass. Man, if anyone was able to place a big wager prior to Super Bowl 52 on Nick Foles catching a touchdown pass, what a payout that would have been. But now I got to stay on topic. What team do you think Nick Foles will be on for Week 1 of the 2018 regular season? If you choose the Eagles, payout here, positive 115. Then you got the Cardinals at positive 400, the Browns at positive 600, the Jets also at positive 600. Then you got the Broncos at positive 700, the Bills at positive 700 as well, Vikings positive 1400, and Jaguars also at positive 1400. You know, I would say don't place a wager on the Browns because I think Nick Foles would rather stay as a backup on the Eagles than be a starter on the Cleveland Browns. Okay, and I'm just apologizing to one of my buddies who is a big fan of the Browns. The Jets, well, I would say probably maybe be better for Foles to stay with the Eagles. I think the good one here to place a wager on would be the Denver Broncos. John Elway has been known for having a reputation of getting an experienced quarterback. So, don't forget what I just said. And get to Bovada.lv as soon as you can. Enjoy some of these wagers. Like I said, which team do you think Nick Foles will be on? Remember, the Super Bowl MVP, where will he be for week 1 of the 2018 regular season? Get to Bovada.lv right away. And before we continue, make sure you check out our website. You know the address, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. On our website, you have easy access to the Bookmaker 101 Basics. That includes steps on how to register, bet, and withdraw. Our Bookmaker Guide is available to download. Read through it at least 2 or 3 times. Remember, I want you to become an expert on this whole entire online sports betting process. And remember, we have betting strategies, tips. Don't forget about our A to Z sports betting lingo. Remember, you may not sound like an expert just yet, but keep on listening to the Bookmaker Podcast. Check out our website, and you'll be good to go. All right, everybody, continuing on now. UEFA Champions League is basically just about here. And I'm on bwin.com. That's www.bwin.com. And I'm checking out some of the available odds here and some of the matchups. We have reached the knockout phase of UEFA Champions League, a very exciting time. So first thing is first, let's get right to which teams are favored to win the tournament outright. Not a surprise here, you have Manchester City at the top of the list with a positive 325 payout. Not really surprised, just Manchester City looks so dominant. They've basically already wrapped up the English Premier League. They've got to the League Cup final. They'll probably get to the FA Cup final. Who knows? I mean, that's just one of my predictions. But will they be able to continue their dominance in UEFA Champions League? Some of the other favorites, you got Bayern Munich of Germany at positive 500. Paris Saint-Germain, a French football club, of course, positive 500 as well. Then you got Barcelona at positive 550. Real Madrid, positive 800. Liverpool, positive 1400. If you want to go to the teams that basically have no chance of winning, you got FC Basel. Payout here would be positive 35,000. Even Turkish club Besiktas, positive 15,000. So these are the teams right here favored to win the tournament outright. Now, who will be the top goal scorer? It's never too late to place a wager at all. I mean, obviously, the knockout phase has not even started yet. You got Cristiano Ronaldo at the top of this list with the payout here, negative 133. After that, you got Harry Kane at positive 900. Neymar also positive 900, as well as Edinson Cavani. Cavani and Neymar are teammates on Paris Saint-Germain. Lionel Messi at positive 1100. What about Polish striker Robert Lewandowski of Bayern Munich? Payout here shows positive 2,000. So a good amount of players you can place a wager on here. But let's just say, what if it's Manchester City going all the way? Is it possible that maybe Raheem Sterling or Gabriel Jesus could be the top scorer of Champions League? If you want to place a wager on Raheem Sterling, payout here is positive 5,000. And for Gabriel Jesus, positive 6,600. And realistically, when I see that Cristiano Ronaldo is favored to be the top scorer, I'm not really sure that's the best wager to take, because a lot of people are not very confident about Real Madrid right now. They have not been very impressive in La Liga, but maybe they have that approach where they realize, okay, La Liga's out of reach. Let's just try and win UEFA Champions League once again. So you just never know. Another good bet here you can place a wager on is which country will the Champions League winner come from? All right, check out the choices here. If you think it's going to be a club from England, payout here is positive 130. And, you know, it's interesting because take a look at how many teams are remaining. You got 16 for the knockout phase. 5 of them, though, come from the English Premier League. You got Manchester City, Liverpool, Manchester United, Tottenham Hotspur, and Chelsea. So that is 5 teams from the EPL that are in the knockout phase of UEFA Champions League. So that could be a pretty safe wager there if you think it's going to be an English team. What about a Spanish team? Payout here, positive 240. A German team, positive 500. A French team, positive 500 as well. As for an Italian team, positive 1400. Maybe Juventus can surprise some teams. They did get to the final last year. If you choose Juventus to go all the way, the payout here would be positive 1,500. And if you choose a club team to win from any other country than the ones I just mentioned, the payout would be positive 10,000. So get to bwin.com, because remember, the knockout phase of UEFA Champions League is just about here. Games will take place on the 13th, 14th, 20th, and 21st of February. Get to Bwin immediately. And with that, everybody, it is time to wrap up this edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. Really glad you're able to join us. Make sure you get to our website as soon as you can. You know the address, bookmakerinfo.com. That's www.bookmaker-info.com. When you get the time, make sure you check out Dan's cricket blog and Patrick's American sports blog. And of course, check out the Mr. Bookmaker football blog or soccer, depending on where you are in the world. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this edition of the Bookmaker Podcast. We'll see you next time.
This has been the Bookmaker Podcast with Art Eftekhari, a.k.a. Mr. Bookmaker. Thanks for listening. If you haven't already, please show some love by subscribing to this podcast on iTunes or Stitcher. Till next time, this is Mr. Bookmaker over and out.